Hey guys, it's Derek from Blue Collar Chess here. I'm going to show you some Lee chess stuff today. So in a previous episode, I talked about a study plan, and in that study plan, I recommended 15 minutes a day, give or take, of chess tactics. I think that's very important. It's going to train your tactical awareness, so your pattern recognition. It's also going to train your calculation and your visualization. Now, when you get better, say once you're at, I don't know, 1800 to 2000, you're going to need to kind of focus more on those type of trainings. Like you're going to actually want to do calculation training. Uh, that's going to depend too. Like some calculation training is going to be finding candidate moves. So some of your training is going to be just finding moves to calculate. Some of your training is going to be visualization. But for right now, I'm gearing this towards the beginner, getting close to intermediate. I consider intermediate around 15 to 1700 Lee chess. Um, I wouldn't say anything beyond that's advanced per se. It's probably still intermediate. However, I think that's a good range to kind of give people an idea of what I'm going for here. So for the beginner though, so what you do is you go to Lee Chess, and this is one of my accounts here. I use this one um, to show everybody what's going on. And so let's see here. So for a beginner, basically teaching yourself what these the pattern the the motifs are. Like for example, you want to know what a pin is, what a fork is, what a double check is. I can't pronounce that. Overloaded pieces. So these are all the basic stuff. Deflection, Greek gift. I mean that's a specific attack actually. So yeah, this so you get here from going to learn, go to practice, and this is practice, and go through all this stuff. If you're a beginner, look at these things. Um, so let's go to. I don't want to do that stuff, but let's look at. Let's check this out. So this is showing a pin, right? The pin it to win it. Set an absolute pin. Okay, so what a pin is see how this knight and this king is on the same diagonal as shown by this arrow right here. So your bishop, of course, is going to be the one that's going to do this. So you're going to bring the bishop to here, and that is going to pin the knight. All right, so the knight is stuck on that diagonal. So the king is coming down to protect it. So you have to take it this move. So you solved it. So yeah, okay. So now it's the same idea. Um, so you're looking at a puzzle like this. You know you're doing a pin, but even in your games, you eventually you're going to start looking at stuff like color complexes, and you're going to look at this and you're going to be like, okay, so the king and the rook is on the same colored square. I've got a dark squared bishop. Can I pin them? I mean that's how you're going to think during a game. So here, you know the move is this: bishop to a3, pinning the rook. See, it didn't really matter what he tried to do at that point. You're just going to take it the next move. I mean, you could move your king if you wanted to for some reason. But yeah, just take the rook, be done with it. Going to move to the next one. So now they're getting a little more complicated. So so this is, yeah, so see how they're calling this a relative pin? So as opposed to an absolute pin, because the absolute pin, I guess, is pinned to the king. So a relative pin is basically pinned to a piece. All right, so I'm assuming this is the move. Yep. So you would have won the exchange there, the bishop for the rook. So here, they're asking you to exploit the pin. So the knight is pinned to the king. Okay, it's protected by a pawn, but is pinned to the king. So the knight can't move until the king moves out of the way. Okay, so here you're going to be attacking it with a pawn. So you push your pawn 2 squares, and now again the king has moved now, so you're no longer in a pin. So you have to take the knight right away. Take it with the pawn. And that's how you would use this section. So this is great for a beginner. I mean, these are very simple, very easy. Like this one, just because I came to me so quick. So what this is showing you is that, so you're attacking the king. This is a theme that will come up in your games for sure. especially at the beginner level, is your queen is x-raying through this pawn to your king. So this pawn can't move, because if it does, it exposes your king to check, right? So the pawn can't move. So if you look at this position, this bishop is attacking the knight. And if it takes, the pawn can't take back because the pawn can't move. So that is the solution. And just like that. All right, so you've worked through those. What's next? So initially, I had told you books that you can buy, so I'm going to re-show you those books. Another good beginner book is Peter Giannotto's Everyone's First Chess Workbook. Great book. I've already talked about it in my study plan series. And here's another one, Chess Tactics from Scratch. When you're a little bit better, and I mean, you can start that when you're a beginner too. It's a great book. It goes through the bones of why tactics work, that type of stuff. So here, what you're going to do is you're going to go to puzzles, and you're going to hit, let's go to puzzle themes. So Lichess is a great free resource for this. Now, what's better? A computer-generated puzzle like Lichess, Chess Tempo, Chess.com, or a puzzle from a book that's been carefully selected by an author. Well, I'm going to lean towards the book. However, I think as a beginner, you're going to get everything you need for free right on Lichess, to be honest with you. Okay, so to keep looking at puzzles here on Lichess, we're going to go to, just look. You can pick openings, you can pick endgames, tactic during the last phase of the game. You can pick middle game ideas, queen endgames, knight endgames, queen and rook endgames. Here you've got, again, by game opening. So if you're in the beginning range, I would spend a little time on hanging pieces. I just think that's very important because a lot of your games, until you hit probably expert, Class A, expert, and I would say slow games almost exclusively at those rating ranges, is when you're going to probably stop dropping pieces, and or at least hanging like a some sort of combination for sure. And I'm talking slow games, not speed chess at those levels. You can watch Magnus Carlsen doing it, so, or dropping a piece rather, or making a mistake. So it happens at every level in fast time controls. So again, for your studying though, go to Lichess, use their tactics. If you want to, pick a different theme a day. Whatever you want, You just want to study tactics every day. I think that's what I would do. I would pick a different theme, learn that theme. Definitely spend some time on hanging pieces though, until you hit, master. So just remember this little section right here, and yeah, and that's what I would do. I would play some of that. Oh, also on this, so you go back to puzzles, right? If you just want to have a little fun, say you have a little extra time. This isn't so much about improvement at this point. This is just if you like doing this type of stuff. It's like Puzzle Rush on Chess.com. So you play, it's called Puzzle Storm. Same idea. It's fun. Super simple puzzles. Nothing super complicated like this one. You would just queen takes knight, check. This one, queen, check. That's all it is. It's the same stuff. Checkmate. So, anyways, so that's my recommendation. So when you're doing your 15 minutes of tactics every day, which I highly recommend, can't recommend that enough. 15 minutes, half an hour if you have it, that's great. Again, the most important part of what you want to do is to study, is to go through the moves, like one by one. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to be like, you don't want to guess, is what I'm saying. You want to look at it and be like, oh, okay. So that's definitely, like this one. You could take the knight, right? So that's a capture. But if you look at it, you got bishop takes this pawn, it's checkmate. Now, I can see right away that it's checkmate, game's over, whatever. But before you make a move, you want to visualize that move in your mind and just be like, okay, can he take it back with anything? Is that really checkmate? You know, just cross check, and that's what I'm saying is the most important part of studying tactics. All right, guys, this is Derek with Blue Collar Chess. Talk to you guys later.